some organisations who don't maybe have a research budget, you know, concentrating on behaviours is absolutely a first step. Yep.
Well, you had 13 to 1 on the psychographic test versus 6 to 1 on the behavioural. It just that seems incongruous, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, sort of thinking about it intuitively, it seems.
Sure. Yeah. Look, I mean, I included it because it was an example that surprised us, and certainly kind of went against all of my kind of baseline marketing activity, where I would use behaviour to influence what I actually did. You know, and we did do other stuff that didn't have the same results. So I think it really does get back to that notion of testing. And I think if you're an organisation who has a very specific kind of art form and you are completely confident of what's going to be coming up in a year or two around that art form, it allows you, I think you've probably got a little bit more value. Whereas if your programming mix is constantly shifting, it's much harder to get a baseline and know what's actually influenced the behaviour and the outcome here. Does that make sense?
Can I ask about the shadow audience? Aaron, you were talking about that early on, and ways to try and reach your shadow audience. So I work for Sydney Theatre Company, so at the moment I'll do a data drive through Backstage magazine asking main subscribers who might have companions coming to the theatre company that we don't know about to get in touch, to let us know that they want to join the mailing list. And the other way I try and ascertain numbers of a shadow audience is feedback forms to subscribers during subscription drives.
Yep.
So we launch in September. We do all kinds of activity to get people to renew. We do a last blast around January, February. And we ask people who are planning not to come back, we put in a little feedback form, which asks all kinds of questions. But one of them that I'm always keen to see is, are you attending with friends who are still subscribing and they've purchased additional tickets through their subscription form? Because we would never know that they were coming back. So they're the only ways that I'm kind of getting any idea around shadow audience. And I just wonder if anybody else is trying to ascertain any kind of accurate number of the shadow and how they're doing it, because I haven't figured out really, really efficient ways to do it properly.
Anyone? I mean, you know, sometimes I think when it comes to shadow audience data, a bribe is kind of needed. You know, there has to be a fairly big carrot, I think, for them to bother. And that can be just as simple, like you said, if you're getting additional information about subscribers who are having packages bought for them, it can be as simple as giving them additional, you know, clear additional benefits if they identify themselves. Single ticket stuff is much harder. Prize promotions, I've tried at event data acquisition.